To the LAS segment. So before we get started,
LAS viewers, now's your
LAS viewers,
tune in. LAS
everybody
bullshit.
lean up. This is not to be biased and this is not to be offensive. So if you feel down in any of the any of these, like the opinions that we have, please let it be known. This isn't to be mean. We're just having fun, just like the LAS is.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for tuning in if you're here from the LAS, and we would love to get started. So the LAS, this or that. Let's fucking go. So first one, the bigger upset, and this is both from Group A. Guardians of God's Glaze win over P247 or the race car beds over Guardians of God's Glaze. And I take this one. So I 100% think it was Guardians of God's Glaze over P247. I looked at the stats after that game and they did a pretty good job. I'd say the support main that was on their team actually played mid lane, Nico, out of which I'm really proud of their performance because I was a Nico player for The Verge for a little while. But it was such a crazy dud to see when we were looking at the match history. We were just like, wait, what?
Yeah, I remember your reaction. You went, whoa.
Oh yeah, I popped off. I was like, what?
Yep.
So yeah, I would definitely say that. I gotta watch these games if there's any VODs. Like people just like tag them. We would love to see these shits just to watch them. It's probably really enjoyable. But I would say that.
I'm gonna go with that.
You agree?
I think it's pretty clear that it's a bigger upset with GGG over P247 mate. Right off the bat, so it's a Legends team beating a Masters team, and then the other one is a Masters team beating a Legends team. So just off of that, it's a bigger upset. But I think in the way that they won, like I watched the post-game snippet, and Guardians of God Glaze like really handed it to him. So I didn't see the results snapshot from the race car beds GGG game, but I obviously do think it is GGG beating P247.
Yeah.
I was very shocked to see that as well.
Alrighty, we move on to slide number 2. Who will make it out of Group A? Speaking about which, it's either Guardians and P247, race car and P247, or Guardians and race cars. And this is for you, my friend.
Right. So do we want to point out why we don't have the fourth team in Group A here?
Yeah.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So, now obviously not throwing any shade at all. This is purely based on looking at the standings and the trend of how the games are going.
These are the top 3 teams in that group.
Yes,
They're all tied for first.
They're all tied for first at 2-1. There is a fourth team, Fleet Famiglia. They are 0-3. I do believe if they lose one more game, I don't think it's impossible for them to get out, but I'm pretty sure that almost seals their fate. So this is based on the top 3 teams that are all neck and neck right now. So we think it will be.
Yeah, if they lose one more, it does seal their fate.
Not to pass any shade at all, obviously. This
Right.
is purely based on looking at the standings. So who will make it out of bed? Okay, so I think one of those teams will be P247, but now I have to decide whether it'll be God's Glaze with them or Race Car. I think I'm gonna go with Race Car Beds and P247. I think it'll be really close though. I'm highly considering God's Glaze making it out as well, but I think being that the Race Car Beds are from the Masters, they have been doing really good. Same with God's Glaze, obviously. They're both really good teams, and we can't wait to see how good Race Car Beds are as well, because we haven't played them yet. But I do think it will be P247 moving out with the first seed, and Race Car Beds taking the second seed.
All right.
But it'll be close. I can see God's Glaze making it close.
I'm gonna say something really ambitious, and it's not being biased.
Under your pants.
I think. I believe in you guys. I think it's gonna be first seed race car beds, second seed Guardians of God's Glaze. I believe in the people. Like honestly, I think Guardians of God's Glaze was a really good competition in the Legends division. They did really well. They are very nice people. It was like really good scrimming with them and like playing other games with them. And I think they could. This is like an upset for P247 possibility. That's all it comes down to is if these guys can study as hard as we do and like be able to achieve the wins, I think they could do it. That's if like these guys don't really touch each other in that game. It depends on how it goes really. Like if Guardians beats race cars and then those 2 teams just go off and dominate their other games, they can make it out. That's it. That'd be the only possibility of it happening. Is if race car or if Guardians beats race car and then they just stomp out their shit. So I believe in them.
So, question on that: do you think that Race Car and Guardians of God's Glaze are going to outperform P247, or do you think P247 are going to be the ones to stop performing well to get out? Like, which avenue are you?
I think they're gonna outperform. That would be it.
You think the 2 are going to outperform them?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna fall off. I think it's gonna be close games, and because this is clutch up or fuck up, so they really just have to try hard. That's all it is. The 2 teams are going at it, and I don't think they're gonna fall off as much. It just depends on how the game goes. It's just all predictions.
Right.
I just think it's Guardians and Race Car that are gonna start picking up the meat.
All right.
Hell yeah. We move on. Can U of A Gummy Bears make a comeback? This is if they 3-0 if they don't come back like forfeiting. It's either yes or no.
Yeah. Do you start with this one?
Yes, actually.
I think you do, yeah. What you got?
I'm going to say no.
Mm.
Only because if they were to play their next games, and they were to go and win against us, let's say, and Raijin, they've played against Monkey Hand Signs, and those guys looked pretty good. Like, they played really well. It was such an enjoyable game, and they've played up against them in Masters before.
Right.
I think they would be able to beat them, so it would stop their playoff contention at a 2-4 record. So I would say no, they can't make the comeback.
I am also going to go with no, unfortunately. I think starting straight off the bat with 3 consecutive FFs, 0-3, starting at the bottom, is pretty detrimental to team morale, I'd say. I also think standing-wise, it would be really, really hard. Starting 0-3 forces you to depend on the outcomes of other games, and once you start doing that, your fate is almost out of your hands, essentially. So I don't know the math behind it all, but I'm pretty sure, like, if we win against them and Monkey Hand Signs beat any other team, I think it's impossible for them to get out with 2-4, even if they were
right. Anyone with 4 losses can't get out.
Yeah, so I'm also going to go with no. I feel really bad for them, so if any of them are watching right now, I'm really sorry about your 3 FFs. That really, really sucks. I would have loved to play against them.
Me too. Look at these. Look at this. This is literally notes. I
got the notes.
I had everything planned.
Yep, so also going to go with the no. Sorry, Gummy Bears, very sorry about that. But that's what it is. 0-3 is a really tough way to start.
For sure. Alrighty, more beneficial to LAS, having side selection or comfort picks. And for context, that is a picture of me on Thresh, because that is ultimately my comfort pick.
Okay, more beneficial in LAS. Okay, I am gonna go with comfort picks. I think side selection hasn't made. I don't think it's yielded any clear advantages. I'm sure a lot of teams prioritize it. I think we sort of like side selection. I think we can take advantage of that pretty well. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Obviously, like you said, you want Thresh. Obviously, a comfort pick. I'm seeing a lot of like Aatrox fans and like Thresh fans. It's obvious we're fans of the champs, decent on the champs. So banning them is obviously a smart idea. Not to toot our own horns. But comfort picks, I think, in this league are just way better than side selection, because if you're on a champ that you can consistently do well on, and these are champs that we've played a lot, as well as played them together on the same team, like outside of LES, like just in normal 5-mans that we play on League. I think whenever we have a comfort pick, it takes a lot for the random enemy team of 5 to beat us. Like it's very rare they just steamroll us. So
that just goes for any team too.
Yeah, and I know some of the other teams have comfort picks as well. Like
and they popped off, like Katarina. There's been Diana ones. There's been Hecarim ones. There's been
Wukong. Some Renekton ones, Wukong ones. Yeah, I think was it Floppy D?
Yumi, a fuck ton of Yumi. Why do you guys ride Yumi so much?
Who's Floppy D on? God's Lace?
Floppy D is Raijin.
Raijin, okay, yeah. He clearly likes the Renekton pick. I think he's picked it in both games we played against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so based on all that, I do think it's comfort picks, although I do think side selection plays a bit.
Oh yeah, it does.
But I'm going to choose comfort picks as more beneficial in LAS.
Not much to add because he had a lot of context to it, so I will agree with comfort picks. A lot of people did have talent. There was, like I was saying, the Yumis. There were good games where I saw, like, in histories, because we would always ban him. Yumi's always banned by our team, no matter what. Like,
even Shen.
Yeah, Shen too.
Good Shens too. Yeah.
Like, you get your champion, you just steamroll. Like, side selection is just a thing of the past at that point. Like, you just put it aside.
It's like a team benefit.
Yeah.
Comfort picks is like, even like if you have 5 comfort picks on everybody, that's clearly better than getting side selection right off the bat.
100%.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Hell yeah, we move on and we move away from that glamorous fucking picture. Damn. Oh my god. Alrighty, so talking about comebacks from before, Camfleet Flamiglia, who is also 0-3 in Group A, that of which they they played one of their they played one of their games and then they FF'd the other 2, which is also a disappointing factor into that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they played their first game, lost, and then dipped.
Wow. Okay.
But
who they play against?
Ooh, that would have to be searched. I could find that out.
Okay.
I got it. Okay. But you can give your 2 cents because it's yours.
Actually, I started with the last one.
Oh, rip. Okay, so they played and lost against Guardians of God's Glaze.
Okay.
Who's a Legends team. They had 2 Masters to go up against and failed to appear, so.
Right.
Given that they don't have the games against the Masters division, that's a really big stone in the heart kind of thing, to where you don't get that practice up against them. Even if you lost, like, regardless, you have that information, those VODs and everything else you can look over and, like, improve off of that. But they never got the chance, so given that factor that those top-tier teams are still within that group that can dominate these guys, or even get steamrolled by them, I don't think it's comebackable. I'm going to have to say there's no comeback.
I'm also going to agree with the no comeback. You said pretty much everything I was going to say. I also like to add it's pretty similar to the what's it called? The Gummy Bear situation. Even though they FF3 and these guys played one in FF2, It's clear that mental is going to be struggling on both of them, so I think they're both kind of in the same situation, mental-wise and also standings-wise. I think 0-3 is extremely difficult to come back from. However, I think if the standings were a little closer, like if they had like a 1-2 team above them, I could argue that they could make a comeback, like a 1-2 team,
yeah.
and then like maybe a 2-1 team. Like it is possible. It's just the more losses you get, the more you depend on other outcomes, and when it gets to that point, it gets like really, really difficult, and it's a lot on your mind as well. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with the comeback, or should I say, comeback?
Comeback, yeah, comeback. No comeback. No coming here.
Comeback.
I believe we do have the last slide, so we're gonna get started with. Oh nope, we have two more. We have two more.
Two more. Yep.
What hits harder when it throws? A rubber dodgeball or the Verge esports? For those who didn't see the game, it was a 2-kill difference. We were up 16-3, and we lost.
Up 16-3 in kills, 22 minutes in.
We lost.
Yeah, I mean kills aren't everything, but that's a pretty substantial lead.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we went over it a lot behind the scenes on like how we threw stuff like bad escape routes after objectives, overextending, going for too many kills, and miscommunication in team fights. Put that all together, and that was essentially how we lost.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot to take from it. I'm not too shaken by it. I mean, no, considering the fact that we were in control for a majority of the game and we just threw, I mean, it happens.
It was also my first 80 game. Not gonna say that was like a defeating factor in our outcome, but like I popped off. But I just couldn't dish out the damage as much as the Azir could. So
yeah.
But I have been to gym class, and those shits are the reason foam balls are the only things that enter the fucking gymnasium. Like those.
Dodgeballs are like banned, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're banned. Absolutely, they're banned.
Yeah.
Like
they were a thing when my parents were in high school.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at the guy with the blue ball, dude. He's fucking. Like I'm talking full on chain yeeting that shit.
Look at the guy with the red ball.
Oh my god, he's winding. No.
Yeah, he's freaking winding.
No, look. Yellow ball. Look at the thigh. Look at the calf on him. He's literally in arch position. He can get like another 3 feet of distance with that.
Are you sure that guy's throwing the blue ball? It doesn't look like he is.
No, he has to be, dude. That's like leaving his hand.
That could be coming towards them.
Could he be scooping it?
It's like.
Look, Odell Beckham scoop.
Like he's looking straight, but it looks like that ball is going to the right. Unless that's just how he's.
It looks like it just left his hand.
Let's go with he's throwing.
Yeah.
Looks weird.
And that other chick right here, she's throwing the orange ball.
Yeah.
Her form's weak af, but
We're talking like physical hit harder against mental and emotional hitting harder.
Physical
arguments for both, but I think it's pretty clear that rubber.
Yeah, I'd say the rubber dodgeball. It was a good game. Like a lot of people reacted on the post, so shout outs to you guys for being weird as shit.
Yeah.
But
I expect it too often.
Yeah, like that was our first loss. Like, do you spam chat when like C9 loses their first game? Like, she's weird. Oh well, it was a good game. But fuck the dodgeballs. They're banned in schools. We're not, unless never mind. Just kidding. But we do have our last slide for tonight, which is what is our favorite logo that has appeared in the group stage?
Favorite logo.
And this is excluding ours, so.
Of course, yeah.
And this is nothing against them because they're all really cool. I mean, some aren't as original, but you know. Oh wait, some aren't as original.
Yeah. Who starts with this one?
That would be you.
Okay.
Carlos with the race car.
Is liking the race car bed. You see how Carlos? You see how there's like cinder blocks sitting in there? Like I just think the race car beds as a team name I think is freaking hilarious.
I think it's hilarious
as well. So picking my favorite is pretty tough. I'd say the final 3 for me is God's Glaze, race car, and monkey hand signs as my top 3. But I kind of have to pick one of the 3. The name Guardians of God's Glaze. I think the fact that there's just a freaking what's it called, glowing glazed donut, and they're the guardians of freaking God's glazed donut.
Which, the Twinkies, they're Twinkies.
Is that a Twinkie?
Yeah.
It looks like a.
I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Because like when I don't think Twinkies are glazed. Pretty sure that's like a glazed like buttercream donut or something. We would have to ask them. We would have to ask them.
Yeah. Yo,
we'll get back to you guys.
Yo, GGG, if you're in chat, if anybody from GGG's in chat, please clarify what the fuck this picture is.
Please clarify if that is
also,
a freaking donut.
Also, Flea Flamiglia, clarify what the fuck your picture is.
Yes, I see an AK being held in the Flea's hand and a freaking hat.
And it's like an armadillo.
Yes. But if I were to choose my favorite logo, I also think monkey hand signs is freaking funny. I think like Carlos says race car bed, gummy bear, and God's Blaze top 3. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. He swapped gummy bear for hand signs. Let's see, favorite logo. I am gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go with race car beds. I think I would go race car beds as first, second God's Glaze, and monkey hand signs 3, because like just look at monkey hand signs. It's literally a freaking monkey going like that, and that's their name of their freaking team. I think that's hilarious. But just no shade to them, but like the race car, it just looks so scuffed and funny. Like I can look at that picture and say that is literally from the early 2000s. That is so obvious.
That's like clip art
I
shit.
know what year that's from. That's like some freaking Hot Wheels special from the Walmart catalog.
Yeah, dude.
And I don't understand the cinder blocks and whatever the red stuff is on the top.
That's a comforter.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like if any race car beds are in the chat, please tell me why there's a bunch of cinder blocks on the top. But yeah, I'm gonna go with race car beds. Should upgrade those rims low-key on that car.
Yeah, dude, he needs a new set of wheels.
We need more flames on the side too. That literally came from a freaking sticker.
For real.
Yeah, super original name. I think it's just so funny. I'm gonna have to go with race car beds.
So I have 2 different picks, and a different favorite than you.
Oh, okay.
So my top 3, and I did think about this after we thought about it.
I did too.
Monkey hand signs is not number 1, but one of them.
One of the 3. Okay.
I like Raijin Storm a lot. I don't think it looks like OBS if you look at it, because I have OBS open. It's more black with like small white shit and 1 dot in the middle. This is like 3 conjoined dots with like the swirl and then the Japanese signs. I think that's kind of badass. I'm such a big sucker for fucking Japanese culture. It's not even funny.
Okay.
The third one being P247. I love that juice box. I think it's so cool. I know a lot of brands like correct me if I'm wrong, but like Bape or there's like a FaZe brand that does that. It's like a juice box. Maybe even Supreme, or I don't even know. It's like some high end shit. I love that logo because it's just a juice box. Like, it's a classic. Like, you look at that and you're like, oh wow, that's like home.
It's like something you should put on a shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Jerry says, not gonna lie, those logos look kind of meh.
I mean, yeah, they're,
Yeah,
they're amateur
like
leagues.
actual logos, like in the LCS themselves, like of course. Like,
'Cause they're
these are
random.
just like some of these are like straight out of clip art into Photoshop. Like of course it's not gonna be that good.
Mine,
So I can
ours
see
was
the
hand
merit.
drawn. Ours was hand drawn.
Yeah, ours is actually 100% original.
Yeah, I can literally call the artist right now and say what's up, but
Yeah.
I think they might be asleep. So
So those are your 3, but which one did you pick for the first?
the number 1 logo is P247.
Okay.
I really like it. My second would be Ooh, monkey hand signs.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking
Just
dude.
seeing it makes me laugh. Like, oh,
The suave of the hand and the M.
Monkey hand signs. Like,
That,
that's just so funny.
that looks like a movie out of Pixar. Like that looks like fucking like
Yeah.
like a Despicable Me Monsters Inc. kind of like fucking Megamind type fucking shit. It's so funny. Like that's so cool. And that it's a silhouette. It's kind of dope too. And then I'd put Raijin Storm 3rd.
Okay.
That would definitely be it. But hey,
Not on the race car bed hype train, huh?
I mean that would probably be like fifth in my opinion. But yeah, that's the this or that.
All right.
We hope you guys enjoyed that little segment, because that was
Dude, me
really
and
fun.
Steve, if you guys don't know, me and Steve freaking love the this or that's. Like, we would literally in high school like pull them up on our phones and just watch it together and be like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with him on this. And yeah, we just freaking love the whole concept of it. I do miss this or that with Kobe and Jet. Obviously, that was
Yes.
a classic. Kobe is still in it, but he's been doing it with Riot Dash lately.
Yes,
which is
yeah.
cool because I also freaking love Dash. But it's missing the Jet, man. It's missing that catchy rhyme.
Rip
but
Jet.
I'm glad they still do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like such a good fucking time. I love that fucking
Rip
show.
Jet. Yeah. It used to be what was the meme? TSM Jet.
Mhm.
It's TL Jet now,
It's
man.
TL Jet, baby.
We still got plenty of time.
Oh, and you already know what I'm searching for, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, baby. She already know.